Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome back, and I have some exciting news. Our refinance went through, and I'm so glad. I'm so relieved after all of the stress and anxieties of yesterday that it didn't take much, but it went through, and I'm so happy to say that we had the right people on our side. We put the good vibes out in the world, and if that worked, it worked, because it went through today by the skin of our teeth. We were very much on the verge of not getting this done, but it is a crucial part in my plan, and I would have hated to have wasted all of the time I spent working on this and having to pivot, and it would have frustrated me so bad. But here we are, it's getting done. We close on the new loan on December 4th, which is just like a week and a half away, and I'm super excited about that. But it got me to thinking about cash flow, because with this refinance, we freed up over $650 worth of cash flow each month by paying off our car loan and by lowering our mortgage payment. So cash flow, what is it? Why is it important? And how do you create it for short term and for long term? Cash flow, what is it? So it is basically the income that you have, the money that you have available to you, the income coming in to your bank account when you are paid. That is cash flow. It's not the value that's in your home. It is not the value that's in stocks or your 401k. It is the actual physical, tangible money that you have flowing into your bank account. Why is cash flow important? Well, I feel like it's important to everything, because if you don't have any cash, you can't buy anything. Before if you could have a house worth $1 million, but before you bought it, you couldn't just go to the store and say, hey, I'll trade you this, corner of my house for a load of groceries today. You'd first have to sell your home, convert it to cash, and then get your groceries, which is a super silly example, but I think it illustrates what I mean. It's important to be a part of society, to be a part of the economy, to buy the things that we need and want. And without it, you feel constrained and stressed, I feel like. And for a long time, we were in a position where our cash flow was negative, and then we hit financial bottom, which I talked about in a previous video. Go check that out. But then we started making a budget and created, we evened out our cash flow. So the money going in was about the same that was going out. And over the past 5 years, we've kind of just obviously built up our income and had a little more cash flow, but also built up our lifestyle to where our cash flow is just over what our expenses are. And that's important to me, because my goal right now is to learn how to be wealthy. And I think that in order to do that, you need cash flow. It takes money to make money. Everybody's heard that saying. And I think that's true, because if you take money and you invest it and you put it into other places that also make you money, then your cash can make you cash. And then it just becomes a cycle that goes over and over and over. And that's how you become wealthy. And there's other ways to become wealthy other than investing, but that's just one example. Now, how do you create cash flow? So if you're in a situation like I am, where you feel like frustrated, and this is kind of where we are now, is that we make decent money. I mean, we're not poor. We can put food on our table. We're very blessed. We have all that we need. And even more than that, we have even room for items that we want. But we are frustrated with the position that we're in financially, because we were paying just as much in debts as we are, and expenses as we are getting in each month. And at the end of the week, when your paycheck comes in and you go through deducting what all the expenses are, and there's zero left over for anything, that's frustrating. And the more cash flow you have, the faster you can build towards your goals. Now, cash flow is not always easily attained. I can tell you a few ways to obtain cash flow, and these are the few ways that I know, and I'm sure there are more out there, but this is what I know how to make cash flow. And I think you can start by doing this today. If you're in a position where we were about 5 years ago and you have no budget and you don't know where your money's going, you can start today by creating a budget. And that's how you can create cash flow, because if you have no idea where your money's going, I guarantee you're spending more on things that you have no clue about than you would if you were keeping track. And that's what it was for us, eating out every day and, just spending on things that we didn't need, and not being able to identify those needs versus the wants. And so if you are in a situation where you don't have a budget and you need cash flow, start by making your budget. And this is how I do it, and it's super, super simple. You take the money at the end of each week that you have in your bank account, you subtract all of your expenses, which are divided out weekly. So if you pay $300 a month for utilities, you divide that by 4, and you get $75 a week for utilities. So you would take your weekly bank account balance and you minus the amounts of all of your weekly expenses, and then what's left over is what you have in cash to spend on other things. Now, you'd have to be able to identify your needs, like utilities and housing costs. You have to have a place to live, you have to have electricity and running water, and you have to have transportation. So if you have a car payment, that's, to me, goes in the needs unless you're willing to sell your car. And then other things that you need are groceries, of course, and just things that are non-negotiable for you. But be honest with yourself. What is non-negotiable and what is negotiable? Because like I said, for us, our car payment was non-negotiable. It was $465 a month, but we needed a car and we needed a van because we have 3 kids and we needed something to drive them around in. And did we get a vehicle that was a little bit above what we had intended? Yeah, we sure did. But there was something to be said for the value of the vehicle that we got versus the value that we would have got with in buying something in our price range. We would have been 3 years later and that car would have been broken down, and we would have paid out more in repair costs than we have paid on this van for the last 3 years. So, you've got to weigh your options and weigh what is non-negotiable for you versus negotiable. For me, eating out is a negotiable. I enjoy meal planning. We enjoy cooking. So eating out is not a necessity. But if you work 80 hours a week, you're not going to have a lot of time for cooking. So maybe eating out for you is a non-negotiable. So, that's how you basically create a budget. And I'm sure there's more ways that you can look at online. So many free templates online. So basically it is just your income minus your expenses, and then whatever's left is what you have to spend. Another way you can create cash flow is to up your income from your 9 to 5, if you have one, or your regular job. So how can you do this? Like I said, we've been feeling kind of frustrated at our jobs lately, and it's because I feel like everybody else is getting the promotion and everybody else is moving up, and I'm just kind of stuck in this spot. And I know that's not true, because if you look at the trajectory of my income over the past 5 years, it's gone up substantially from what it was when I started at the company. But I still feel like I should be further along for the age that I am and the experience that I have in the workforce. With Chris, it's the same way. He feels like he provides enough value that he should be getting paid more. He should be able to find a position where he is paid what he is worth. And both of us, we just don't think that we can find that where we are right now. And so we're both working on ways to improve that. I am learning some new skills in Excel and data analysis that will help me to bring more value to my job and move up the ladder into another position. Chris is looking to start a business to create more income, and that's something you can do. If you have a skill that is unique to you and you have the entrepreneurial bug, go ahead and create a business, because that can create more income for you than working for someone else. guess what? People hire employees when they're profiting. And if your company has hired you, it means they're profiting. And yeah, they're sharing those profits with you in the form of a salary. But guess who gets paid the most? The guy at the top. So those are a couple ways to create cash flow. Then there's some other ways you can create cash flow when you're a little bit further along than I am now. That's kind of where I've capped out at the moment. But where we are now is creating cash flow through less than ideal, that's not what I want to say, less than normal means. And what we did was we took our house, and because the value of our home over the last 3 years has gone up so much, and it's happened all over the world, and this is not something you can really plan for unless you really, really know the market. But we took the value of our home and we refinanced our house. So we took out more money on our house, and we are paying down our van, paying off our van with that. And that is creating cash flow for us because we no longer have to make that van payment in the form of $465 every month. It also creates more cash flow because we have less going toward our mortgage every month. So whereas we were paying $1,100 a month, we're now paying just $1,000 a month once the refinance closes. And that's money in our pockets every month. And yes, we are tagging on that van loan to the end of our mortgage. And we are, paying out a bigger mortgage than we had. Yes, that's true. But right now, where we are financially, details that we need more cash flow in order to make more money, in order to pay off those big things like that. Right now, we need to focus on paying off the little things so that we can invest and have our money create money to pay off the big things. And, that's a position that you have to decide for yourself. I'm okay with that position. Sorry about the light. I'm okay with that position. Some people are, some people aren't. I've made a video on risk if you want to check that out. But right now I'm okay with risk because it's helping me get to where I need to go. So yeah, those are a few ways you can create cash. And then the last, I think, would be investing. Investing is a way to create cash flow that not many people think that they can do. And you just kind of think that the stock market is for the rich, and real estate is for the rich, and you don't want to be a property manager, so you don't want to have the headache. But there are so many ways to invest. And I'm just dipping my toe in the water here because I know very little about investing, and that should be my disclaimer right there, is I'm not giving you advice. I'm just telling you what I have done and my personal opinions. But you can create cash flow through investing, and that is a fact. That is not an advice. It is a fact. You can invest in stocks that pay you dividends. You can invest in real estate that pays you rental income. You can invest in real estate trusts that pay you dividends, and you can invest in so many things out there that, and I'm sure I'm just grazing the tip of the iceberg right here. There's so many things that can create cash flow for you if you learn how to use your income to work for you. Because guess what? You only have so many hours in a day. You have to eat and sleep and, go to the bathroom. But your money doesn't have to do any of those things. Your money can work 24 hours a day for you if you know what you are doing. So I recommend getting to the point where you can invest, and that's where I want to get. And I am excited to get to that point. But before you can do that, you need to get financially educated. And I don't care how you do it. Right now, I'm telling you, I'm doing it by watching people off of YouTube who have been successful in these very same areas. And I'm going to YouTube University and creating my own wealth of experience and knowledge based on what they have done, and following my own plan based on my own advice, not theirs, because it is never okay to randomly just follow somebody else's plan, because their plan works best for them. But your plan, you have to come up with a plan that's going to work best for you. And my plan is not exactly like the people that I watch, because we don't live in the same area, we don't make the same income, we don't have the same struggles or family structures. So you got to realize that each and every plan is going to be unique to you. And okay, don't beep at me. Where do you want me to go? Oh well. Anywho, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yes. So, if you need cash flow now, there's a few quick ways to get some and a few long-term ways to get some, but you just gotta financially educate yourself is the most important takeaway. Cash flow is important, and the way you get it is becoming financially educated to play the game to make you win. If you don't know the rules of a board game, how are you gonna win? If you don't know the rules to the stock market, you're not gonna profit. If you don't know the rules to making money, it's never going to happen for you. So there's my thoughts for today, and I'm going to get off of here because there's a traffic jam in front of me and I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. I will see you later. Have a good Thanksgiving, everybody. Bye-bye.